Today we're going to learn about pronoun cases and how learning about them can help improve our writing. In today's mini lesson, we are going to focus on these two questions. How can I figure out if a pronoun is correctly being used in a sentence? And how do I figure out which pronoun to use in a sentence? These are your steps to success. First, you're going to want to identify the subject of your sentence and highlight it in blue. Next, you're going to identify the predicate and highlight it in red. Then you are going to find your pronoun and highlight it in green. After you've got those three parts highlighted and identified, you're going to think about the pronoun's job in the sentence. And then you are going to check your pronoun case chart to determine if the pronoun is subjunctive case, objective case, or possessive case. Before we go much farther, let's review what a subject is. So a subject is a person or thing that is doing an action, or the person or thing that is the focus of the sentence. For example, in this sentence, Corporal S.M. Dart gave the medal he earned to Cal. This sentence subject is Corporal S.M. Dart because he is the one who is doing the action. He is the one who gave the medal. What is a predicate? The predicate of the sentence is a part that contains the action. So in the same sentence, gave the medal he earned to Cal is the complete predicate because it is what the subject, Corporal S.M. Dart, is doing. A pronoun, as a reminder, is a word that is used in place of a noun. The words they, she, he, and it are examples of pronouns that would be used in place of nouns. In our sentence, Corporal S.M. Dart gave the medal he earned to Cal. He is our pronoun. So we're going to go back to our steps of success and figure out how we know that he is the correct pronoun in the sentence. The captain steered the ship he helped to build. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to find the subject and highlight it in blue. The subject of this sentence is captain. It is who the sentence is about. Next, we're going to find our predicate and highlight it in red. In this case, the predicate is steered the ship he helped to build, specifically looking at that word steered because that is what our subject is doing. Finally, we're going to find our pronoun and highlight it in green. Our pronoun in this sentence is he. There are three pronoun cases you need to know when we're working with pronouns. They are subjective, objective, and possessive. Each of these cases use a specific set of pronouns. So in order to figure out if a pronoun is used correctly based on its case, you must learn the different functions or jobs of a pronoun. This is our pronoun case chart. And on the left, you will see the different cases. We have subjective case pronouns, objective case pronouns, and possessive case pronouns. On the right, you have their jobs in a sentence. So, for example, with the subjective case pronoun I, the job that pronoun might have in a sentence is to take the place of the subject of the sentence, or it will be found as a predicate pronoun. So let's break this down and use our steps for success for analyzing the sentence to figure out if they use the correct pronoun. The pronoun for our sentence is that first word, I. First, we're going to identify our subject. I is our subject because it is doing the action. So I is doing the action. I is a person who is sprinting across the field. Next, we're going to look at our predicate. Remember that the predicate of the sentence is the part that contains the action. So sprinted across the field is our predicate. We know that this I is the subject of the sentence. So its job in the sentence is that number one, it is that subject. We can then confirm that yes, I is the correct pronoun to use in this case because I is the subjective case pronoun. Since I is doing the action and the subject of the sentence, the pronoun is the subjective case. So let's use these steps to analyze a sentence we've already talked about, and we are going to double check and make sure that that pronoun that is used in the sentence is correct. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to identify our subject and highlight it in blue. As you recall from earlier, our subject in this sentence is the word captain. Next, we're going to identify our predicate and highlight it in red. As you can remember, our predicate in this sentence is steered the ship, specifically looking at that word ship. Next, we're going to identify our pronoun, highlight it in green. Our pronoun in this sentence is he. So now we are going to go through the process of double checking and seeing if that pronoun is correct. So our pronoun is in the predicate of our sentence, and it is referring to the subject captain. So we know that the job of the pronoun in this sentence is as a predicate pronoun. We know from our chart that a predicate pronoun should be I, you, he, she, it, we, or they. They have used the correct form he. We know that the pronoun in this sentence is correct. Let's take a look at this sentence. The babysitter watched me eat the entire cake. Remember, step 1 is to find our subject and highlight it in blue. Our subject of the sentence is babysitter. Next, we find our predicate, that's our action, and highlight it in red. Our action is watched. Finally, we're going to find our pronoun and highlight it in green. Our pronoun in the sentence is me. Now, let's talk a little bit about the relationship between the predicate watched and our pronoun me. The pronoun me is receiving the action of the verb. Me is being watched. So the pronoun me is the direct object. A pronoun that is a direct object takes the objective case. Therefore, the pronoun me is the proper pronoun to use in this sentence. You wouldn't say the babysitter watched I eat the entire cake, because that pronoun does not match the case that is needed in this sentence. So we've talked about how to figure out if a pronoun is being correctly used in a sentence, as well as how to figure out which pronoun to use in a sentence. But why is this important in the first place? Well, understanding the nuances of language can help us to better appreciate well-written sentences and texts, and it also helps us become better writers ourselves. Expressing ourselves clearly and concisely is super important in school and our professional work, as well as when we communicate with people personally.